Hey there, everybody. It's Zach at Feel Free to Argue. And, you know, I made the mistake again today of watching Democracy Now! It's amazing, you know, what you see there and you just don't see it anywhere else. And probably with some of the stuff I saw this morning, even though it was just like little blurbs in the headlines, probably a good thing that like the mainstream media isn't picking this stuff up, because there would probably be blood in the freaking streets tomorrow. Well, if any of you guys are wondering about what these irresponsible fuckwits are doing with our money, and I'm talking about the investors who have been getting all this bailout money from us, well, there's a little bit of information about that this morning. Let me read you what they were reading to me from the headlines of Democracy Now! This morning. Half of bailout money going to shareholders. Meanwhile, the Washington Post reports major U.S. banks are on pace to spend more than half their bailout money on rewarding their shareholders. The 33 banks are set to receive some $163 billion in government bailouts. Half of that sum would go toward paying off shareholders over the next 3 years. The Bush administration touted the bank bailout as necessary to resume lending. But Treasury officials say the banks would never accepted loans if they weren't allowed to redistribute dividends to shareholders. Oh, the banks wouldn't have accepted it, eh? Democratic Senator Charles Schumer of New York is calling for suspension of dividend payments at bailed out banks. Well, that seems logical, but I don't imagine there's any chance of that getting through. And oh, what about AIG? Well, they had a little blurb about AIG too. This comes as the New York Times reports the insurance company American International Group has rapidly used most of its $123 billion government loan with little account for where the money has gone. AIG has drawn some $90 billion in government money so far. Well, I guess you can kiss that $90 billion goodbye. I don't think we're ever going to be seeing it again, unless we manage to repossess one of those people's homes. But we won't be able to do that because they all build their homes in Florida, where you're not allowed to repossess someone's home. Well, I guess it just goes to show that if you have a bunch of irresponsible jerks who lose a big pile of money and get themselves in trouble, the answer, it seems, is not to give them another big pile of cash and no rules about how they are supposed to spend it. I think that if you do this, what you should expect is exactly what seems to be happening. And that is that they will spend the money in the same stupid, reckless, and irresponsible manner that they blew the first big pile of cash that they were entrusted with. So, anybody getting mad yet? Anybody a little bit ticked off that, you know, the money that we're all on the hook for is getting blown? Well, I hope you are. I am. It'd be nice to know that if other people were also upping their heart medication because of this stuff. Anyway, this is Zach, and that's my little rant about this so far. Oh, I'll post a link to the New York Times article, which Amy references, which is appropriately enough entitled, "A Question for AIG. Where did the cash go?" This is Zach Elliott. Feel free to argue.